The cold hits your face first, not like air, like something solid pressing against your skin. Your breath freezes before it leaves your mouth. Your fingers, still gripping the strap of your pack, have already gone from cold to something closer to numb. You didn't plan for this, the whiteout came fast, and now the horizon and the ground are the same color. And you can't tell which direction is back. You're a researcher on a short supply traverse across the Antarctic ice shelf, 2 kilometers from the station, well within range on a clear day. But the wind picked up, visibility dropped to almost nothing, and your radio has gone quiet. You're alone, exposed, and the temperature around you sits near -40 with wind chill. Your body is about to fight the hardest battle it knows. 1 minute in, your skin senses the drop before you consciously register it. Blood vessels near the surface constrict immediately. This is vasoconstriction, and it's your body pulling warm blood away from your skin and limbs, saving it for the organs that keep you alive. Your hands and feet are the first to feel the cost. 5 minutes in, you start to shiver. This isn't weakness, it's muscle tissue contracting rapidly on its own, generating heat as a byproduct. It can raise your metabolic heat production several times over, but shivering burns fuel fast, and out here, fuel is limited. 20 minutes in, your fingertips have gone from aching to strangely quiet. That quiet is not a good sign. The nerves that carry pain signals are slowing down in the cold, and sensation is starting to fade before the tissue itself is seriously damaged. This is frostnip, the earlier stage, still fully reversible if you can get warm. 30 minutes in, your core temperature has started to slip from a normal 37 degrees down toward 36. You feel it as a kind of heaviness, thinking takes more effort, simple decisions, like which direction to walk, start to feel foggy. 1 hour in, your body has made a trade. Blood flow to your hands and feet has dropped so low that the tissue there is now colder than it can safely sustain. Ice crystals begin forming between your cells, not inside them yet, but close. This is superficial frostbite. The skin looks pale, waxy, almost bloodless because in a very real sense, it is. Your shivering has become violent, uncontrollable. This is your body's last major defense before it changes strategy entirely. 2 hours in core temperature near 35 degrees. This is mild hypothermia, and here's something strange starts happening. Your kidneys, sensing the blood volume shift from vasoconstriction, begin producing more urine, a phenomenon researchers call cold diuresis. Your body thinks it has excess fluid to get rid of, even though you're already dehydrated from the cold, dry air. It's one of the cruelest ironies of hypothermia. The colder you get, the more fluid you lose, and the worse your circulation becomes. 3 hours in, core temperature drops below 34, moderate hypothermia now. Your muscles stiffen, coordination fails. You might stumble on flat ground, your speech, if you tried to speak, would come out slurred. Not from confusion alone, but from the muscles of your jaw and tongue slowing down, along with everything else. And your shivering stops. This sounds like recovery. It is the opposite. Your body has run out of glycogen, the stored fuel that shivering burns through. Without fuel, the muscles can no longer generate heat this way, and your temperature begins falling faster. 4 hours in, core temperature near 32. This is where a documented and strange symptom sometimes appears, called paradoxical undressing. Some victims in the final stages of hypothermia actually remove their clothing. One theory still debated among researchers points to a final failure of the vasoconstriction reflex. The blood vessels that had been clamped shut suddenly relax, flooding the skin with warm blood and creating a brief false sensation of heat. By this stage, your frostbite has progressed too. What began as frostnip on your fingertips has moved deeper. Ice crystals have now formed inside the cells themselves, rupturing them from within. This is deep frostbite, and unlike the earlier stage, this damage will not fully reverse even with warming. 5 hours in core temperature near 30, this is severe hypothermia. Your heart, which has been racing to compensate, now begins to slow and grow irregular. The electrical signals that keep it beating in rhythm are themselves temperature sensitive, and at this point, arrhythmia becomes a real risk. Consciousness starts to fade in and out. This is close to where the story could end for many people, but not always. In 1999, a Swedish radiologist named Anna Bågenholm was trapped upside down under river ice for roughly 80 minutes after a skiing accident. Her core temperature eventually measured at just 13.7 degrees Celsius, one of the lowest survived body temperatures ever recorded. Her heart had stopped, and yet because the cold had slowed her cellular metabolism to a crawl, her brain and organs needed far less oxygen than normal to stay viable. Rewarmed slowly on a heart-lung bypass machine over several hours, her heart restarted, and she recovered, eventually returning to medical practice herself. That case reshaped how doctors think about cold and survival. The same slowing of metabolism that makes severe hypothermia so dangerous is also under the right rescue conditions. What can make it survivable in ways that would be impossible at normal body temperature? For you, out on the ice shelf, everything now depends on what happens next. Whether the whiteout breaks, whether a search party's headlamp cuts through the snow before your 5-hour mark becomes your 6th rescue, if it comes, will not mean instant relief. Rewarming too fast can be its own danger, sending a rush of cold acidic blood from your extremities back to your heart, a phenomenon called afterdrop that has, in some documented cases, caused cardiac arrest during rescue itself. Slow and careful is what actually saves a life here. What this scenario reveals is something true of every human body, not just one stranded on an ice shelf. Your core temperature is one of the most tightly guarded numbers in your entire physiology, protected by layers of automatic reflexes. Most people never think about vasoconstriction, shivering, hormonal shifts, all firing in sequence long before you consciously feel endangered. Right now, wherever you're sitting, your body is running some version of this same system quietly in the background, keeping that internal number steady without you ever noticing the effort. The cold that hit your face at the very start of this story was never just weather. It was the opening move in one of the oldest defenses your body has.